approximately night in Lithuania. Good night. And I'm going shortly to present our research. It's not so large research, it's small-scale research, but anyway, Lithuania is also small. I represent Baltic states and from Lithuania. And not only, I would say that I represent Central and Eastern Europe, because it seems that only one from this region from Europe, not stable, unstable Europe nowadays. I hope you know this big conflict, aggression between Russia and Ukraine, and it's continued, it's near, so close to Lithuania, and all our region somehow, let's say, involved in this situation. But anyway, we should continue, we should work, and this is, I represent Vilnius University, Šiauliai Academy. Previously it was independent university, but in Lithuania it's new policy, we're reducing number of universities. Why do we need so many universities? It's waste of money, waste of resources. We should have, let's say, bigger universities. Sorry, which one it's... And you see shortly map how Lithuania looks like. And this is Šiauliai North, Šiauliai district. I represent Šiauliai. And this on the left side, this is Baltic Sea, not Atlantic Ocean. But it's connected. It's connected from another side via Baltic Sea. You can reach Atlantic Ocean so easily. And later on Brazil, for example. Why not? And okay, sorry, I forgot chocolate. Because we need to taste, I have in my room, sorry, but maybe not tomorrow or the day after tomorrow. You should taste Lithuania. Yeah. Okay. Short introduction, because this is our main concern related to primary school teachers and science education in primary school in general. And despite that this is integrated, science education integrated must be of high quality. And for example, at least in Lithuania, education in primary level consists generally from two components or from two parts, so-called social education or social component and science component. And usually teachers, at least majority of teachers, prefer this one, first one, social component, but not science component. And it's not situation only in Lithuania, but in, I think, at least in Europe, in many countries. And students after finishing primary school level, after 4 years, let's say science knowledge or quality of science knowledge, etc., not so good, and it's continue transferring to lower secondary school, or so-called basic school. And teachers also tend to demonstrate variety of experiment. Students' research activities are not predominant. And we have here Solange, for example. She knows very well because she took part remotely in our national conferences, teachers' conferences, because we involve in every year pre-primary and primary school teachers. But somehow this is minority among this population, specific population. But Solange can prove also that our teachers, at least working quite deep, they involved in research activity with students in different projects, etc., etc. Somehow, let's say, practical application, how to promote, to help, to support teachers. And also readiness or preparation of teachers to organize science education, to implement science education in primary school is quite diverse. To some extent it's quite good, in some schools not. And this is like a consequence, main consequence that low interest of students in natural sciences and technologies is often conditioned or determined by inadequate science education in primary school. This is my, let's say, main red message related to this presentation, or based on this presentation. And as I already mentioned, in primary school, two components and our, let's say, interest to promote this second component, because, you know, the main problem is that we need at least two related components. First, motivation, to be motivated to be as a teacher, and next, to be motivated in science. But if you're not, who are motivated in science, they decided to study biology, chemistry, physics. It's obvious, nothing new. And primary school teachers made it, let's say, not oriented to science. And they somehow moving far away from science. Short research methodology, this is like one research, empirical research from a series of research. Every year, from different aspects, different angles, we are trying to perform different studies. It was done last year, a survey, questioning, and 115 primary school teachers took part in this research. Sample is quite representative because from more than 30 schools, and we collected data and teachers took taking part in different seminars or courses, etc. Let's say from different regions in Lithuania, from very different schools, and I hope that it represents somehow Lithuania. Questionnaire as an instrument, and answers in writing, and quantitative analysis, and to some extent also qualitative analysis. Shortly about results, I'm not going to go into details. The statistics, statistical jargon is not interesting at all. It's like fake news. Yeah. Most appropriate ways of way in science education process, and you see that, for example, on the top include organized practical work activities. It's from teacher's perspective to demonstrate experiments, and you see below encourage, facilitate inquiry, exploration. It's minority, very minority, and satisfy, taking into account individual differences. It's strange somehow incorporate technology. For example, it's also not so high. Next interesting aspect, frequency of research or exploratory inquiry activities in science lessons in the main science areas. And you see the same tendency from another angle. We tried to perform also factor analysis, but it's not a statistical jargon. It's enough to have significance index or index of significance, and we see very clearly that 60% in percentages. A healthy lifestyle, below environmental protection, ecology, and generally that's all. Three main components prevails, let's say. It's quite common, quite understandable. It's easy for teachers, etc., etc. But let's go down, for example, soil, minerals, influence of chemicals on plants and animals, physical phenomena. It means general physics and chemistry component, usually continuously below or the last one. You see, because according index is below 50%, it's generally not so relevant. Okay, in this case, 41%, 40%, but it's not. And next, for example, teachers' readiness to organize and implement science education in primary school. In many studies, we adopted the same approach, and you see the main areas. Again, according to index of significance, we see some, let's say, factors. 70%, it's healthy living, human safety and health, healthy lifestyle, humans and other animals, green plants, and generally that's all. Next, somehow biology component, environmental protection, grouping and classifying materials, global climate change, And you see changing materials in general chemistry. We are not saying in primary school, but chemistry, scientific inquiry, separating mixtures of materials, forces and physics, forces and motions, light and sound, electricity, electrical phenomena. This is main areas according to our general programs, national general programs. And you say, okay, this is not so bad. Let's say not so bad, it's 50%, but it's this component again, not so good. And shortly on the right side, you see the scale from I feel very well prepared to my weakest field in among this. And in this diagram, it's more better panorama, let's say. We see ratio scale and what is on the right side and what is on the left side. And again, first factor is obviously clear. We can work with waste, with some materials, some ecological things, etc. It's easy, it's visible, etc. But and this is repeating from year to year, the same situation, approximately the same situation. And the level of awareness of teachers in certain areas also we decided to analyze them. How you see, again, according average, not so high, let's say 2.9, environmental issues. This is also correlated with previous somehow, at some extent. Environmental issues global and going down. New inventions and technologies, new scientific discoveries, new medical discoveries, space exploration, nanotechnology, gene technology. It's nothing for teachers, and they hate these areas, and it's not interesting. But it's not so good situation. Yeah, I'm not happy with this, obviously. Shortly, some conclusions, because the best part in every presentation is conclusion. Yeah, conclusion part. I already said everything. Most commonly said with students related to some areas like healthy lifestyle, environmental protection, ecology. Less often students do research on vegetation, for example, flora, fauna, physical phenomena, etc. As I mentioned, only a small part of teachers who are so active and taking part. For example, because we have, starting from 1995, we have every year national conferences, science education conferences in Lithuania. You are welcome next year at the end of April, and why not? And also, rarely students do research on agriculture, the effects of chemicals on plants and animals, etc. And very rarely students explore soil, minerals, and rocks, this so-called geological component. That's all. If you have questions, I would be happy. If not, it's no problem. No problem for me. I can applaud for myself. Flexible, enjoyable, and yes, why not? Just for empty auditorium you can speak. Yeah. And marketing. Yeah. Marketing is obligatory. Next year we are going to organize our 5th Baltic Symposium, Baltic STI, or Baltic Science and Technology Education Symposium in Lithuania, in Šiauliai. This is a symbol of Šiauliai. You see golden boy. Because Šiauliai, it's sun city. Saulė in Lithuanian language it means Saulė, Šiauliai, sun city. And it will be in middle of June. This is very nice time because we have longest day at that time. Longest day, it's approximately till 11 p.m. It's light time. And dark on, yeah, this is now terrible. Somebody said this is winter time. No, it's summer time. For me, it's summer. Yeah, okay. And please, this is the working website. It's we are updating continuously. Already it's updated. Registration is open. Will be opened in middle of September, starting from September. And we are going to organize face-to-face physical symposium, not virtual one. It's enough for virtuality. We need to meet people from different continents. Solange, are you right? because you main participant.
Yeah. One of the organizers.
Yeah, sure.
To help you.
Sure. Because just one example. Because it's not my first visit to Brazil, just Recife at the time. But in Brazil, the first visit was in 2011. But it was winter time for Lithuania.
Yeah.
Middle of February. I started 13th of February. In Lithuania, it was -20 and a lot of snow. When I arrived to São Paulo, it was more than 32. You see difference in the road? But I survived. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Vincentas. If someone here, please stay here, please. If someone here, I will get the microphone for you.
Yes, thank you for the presentation. I think I'm quite impressed of the teachers. I don't think primary teacher overall has that education. But I have really a question about the teaching. I know Lithuania, like Sweden, is quite a rural country, a lot of nature. Are they mainly in the classroom or are they out in the wild?
No, it's...
The microphone.
Oh, I'm speaking so
Sorry, I'm
loud.
sorry for
No problem.
friends online.
Okay. Because, no, educators should be flexible. Yeah, it's so popular, not only in classrooms, not just sitting in classroom, but also outdoor lessons, outdoor education, so typical. And as I mentioned, Solange can prove also, the teachers who are working actively, they perform different, for example, project activity, project-based, so-called project-based learning, different projects, just involving municipalities, local authorities, some national parks, for example, etc., because currently it's so common in different museums, in national parks, we have education programs, education activities. It's typical, but you know, if we are talking about majority, about this whole population of primary school teachers, this situation remains, let's say, not so good at this extent, because this is continuous transferring, let's say, low knowledge, low preparation to, let's say, basic school, lower secondary level, and later on to gymnasium or upper secondary level.
Any more questions here in the meeting? Are there questions on this one?
No?
I would like to make a question.
No, from Solange? No, from Angela. Angela James. Oh my God. I will.
Angela James. Oh, Angela. Oh.
No.
No.
Okay. I would like to ask a question, if will be possible.
Why not?
That's thank
My
you.
flight on Friday only.
You said at the beginning of your presentation that there was in the primary school in Lithuania integrated teaching.
Yeah.
That's the all the assignments on all the classes together, like integration.
Yeah, it means integrated education, as I mentioned, consists from two components. This is prescribed in national curricula, yeah. And practically it's implemented by subject so-called word cognition. Word cognition represents science education. Yeah. This is title of this course. But it's generally 2 lessons per week. Yeah. For example, in comparison with language, with, let's say, so-called social component, mathematics, language, for example, etc. But for word cognition, subject, word cognition, 2 lessons per week only, and we call it science education. I think it's not enough, really, but teachers who work additionally, okay, but who just simply follow rules, it's not. This is a problem.
Thank you very much. Any other questions in the audience? No?
It's enough.
Okay, it's enough. So, thank you very much. So will we be continuing with our presentations? Now it's Susana Ursi, Germa Cristina de Freitas.